Hi, I'm Rick Allen Lippert, here to tell you what's coming up this month on CST Live Online from Carpenter Square Theater and RK1 Studios. Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The characters were played by real-life married couple Jim and Marion Jordan, who met in the church choir in Peoria, Illinois, married in 1918, and then 5 days later, Jim was drafted and sent overseas to entertain the troops because he was a singer. When he returned, they created a vaudeville act that was mostly unsuccessful, but they did end up on the radio in Chicago in 1924. They then partnered with writer Don Quinn to create a show on a local station called Smack Out. The S.C. Johnson Company hired them to create a national show, and that became Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The character of Fibber, a habitual storyteller and a braggart. Molly plays his long-suffering wife. She is the, quote, straight man in this double act. In this episode, Fibber is a census taker, and we meet some of the characters of the fictional Midwestern town of Wistful Vista. A couple of the regulars in this show are the old-timer, who for some reason always refers to Fibber as Johnny and Molly as daughter, and also Ole. The show had many running gags, the most famous of which, of course, was Fibber's closet. It started as a one-time stunt and then became a staple, but not in every episode, and not in this one. Characters mentioned but never appearing in this episode include Molly's alcoholic Uncle Dennis and a local actress, Fifi Tremaine. Another gag was always asking for the time, and the answer was always half past. Now, the full name of the show was the Johnson Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. It included commercials only for the sponsor, and the middle spot was incorporated into the script with announcer and pitchman Harlow Wilcox getting into the story. 4 films were made with Fibber, McGee, and Molly between 1937 and 1944. They resisted the urge to go to television. The radio program aired on Monday nights on NBC between 1935 and 53. It was one of the most popular shows on radio, trading the #1 spot with Bob Hope year after year. This show is credited with creating the format for this situation comedy as we know it today. The program included live orchestra music and singers. In 1953, the show became a nightly program, 15 minutes long, recorded on tape in the Jordan's home. And then in 1956, just a 5-minute segment on the NBC Monitor program. When Fibber, McGee, and Molly ended in 1959, so did the golden age of radio. The cast in our show includes Mike Waugh and Lilli Bassett as the title characters, and CW Bardsher as Harlow Wilcox. Supporting players include Terry Veal, Lana Henson, and Barry Thurman. From 1950, a timely episode, the Census Enumerator.
Welcome to the 4th edition of CST Live Online. This month is the Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber, McGee, and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax and Johnson's Water Repellent Glow Coat present Fibber, McGee, and Molly with Mike Waugh, Lilli Bassett, Terry Veal, Lana Henson, Barry Thurman, and me, CW Bardsher. The script of the Census Enumerator is by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie. CST Live Online is always free, but donations for Carpenter Square Theater are greatly appreciated. You may donate easily by using the donate button at the homepage of carpentersquare.com. RK1 Studios is assisting CST at no charge, so tips for the studio can be made via Venmo using the handle at RKONE. That's RKONE. And now, on with the show. 140,000 men and women started work last week on Operation Nose Count, the 1950 census. 139,999 of these people are intelligent, courteous, and considerate. Here's the other one. Census Enumerator McGee of Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
Oh, I got a feeling I'm gonna love this job, Molly. Imagine getting paid good money just for asking personal questions. Boy, oh boy, will I get nosy.
And boy, you're just the boy who can do it, too.
You betcha. And this time I got the government back of me. Fibber McGee, government official. Hey, I wish I had me a badge to wear.
A badge? Well, Uncle Dennis has one. It's upstairs in his drawer.
Swell, I'll get it. What does it say?
Chicken inspector. He got it at a Legion convention at the poultry exhibit, he said. Although I don't know why.
That's okay, kiddo. Never mind. I got enough authority without the badge. Now, let me run through the procedure here before I start out again in a minute. First of all, I ring the doorbell, see? And when somebody answers, I say, "Good morning, madam."
Well, what if a man answers?
Hang up.
Huh?
Oh, you mean if a man answers the door? Well, in that case, I simply say, "Good morning, bud." I say, "I represent the United States Censor for this block."
Oh, no, dearie, no. Not the censor, the census.
Yeah? What's the difference?
Well, the census asks people what they do. The censor says they mustn't do it.
Oh. Well, anyhow, this is going to be quite an experience. Let me see now. I got my book of instructions, the Enumerator's reference manual, my fountain pen, blank forms, my ID cards.
Oh, say, I've heard of those ID cards. Now, what does that stand for anyhow? Doctor of Enumeration?
No, nothing like that, Tootsie. This is just my identification. When you don't want to stand out on a drafty porch asking questions, you flash the ID card to get indoors. Catch on?
Oh, isn't that simple? Well, I think the census is a wonderful idea because, oh, heavenly days. Is that the questionnaire you fill out?
Yep.
Well, look at the size of that thing. Well, it looks like Barnum and Bailey's main tent.
Yeah, and I'm going to have a circus with it, too. I may switch the questions around a little, of course, when I get the hang of it. Liable to sound pretty dull asking the same questions all day long.
Oh, you can handle it, dearie. You've had experience.
Asking questions?
Sounding dull. Say, speaking of Uncle Dennis again, he'd be wonderful at this job because he starts out every day of his life with the same question.
Yeah? What's the question?
Where am I? You know, that's just about the only question that they don't have there on those blanks here.
Oh, they got it right here. Question 15. What were you doing last week? Working, keeping house, or something else?
Well, what else is there? I mean, heavenly days, a busy housewife
Look,
has
Tootsie, don't you start giving me trouble before I even ring my first doorbell. Come on, let's get started. I want to gather up those victual statistics.
Oh, you mean vital, dearie.
No, victuals. I'm going to ask them what they had for lunch, and if there's any left. Because by the time I ring a few doorbells, I'll be hungry enough to...
Oh, hold it, G-Man. Company.
Well, don't let them delay us, whoever it is. Hand me them questionnaires and stuff so it looks like we're leaving.
Oh, well,
Come
hello, Mr. Old-Timer. Come in.
Hello there, daughter. Hi. Oh, put that racing form away, Johnny. Save your rent money, son. You can't beat the ponies.
No, this is not a racing
Don't
form.
let the boy gamble, daughter. Bad for his character. I remember Papa used to bet the horses when I was just a kid. Ruined his life completely.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah,
But this...
Papa hung around the stable so much he developed a hamstrung fetlock and a bad case of heaves. Took to having his shoes custom made at the blacksmith shop. And I can hear him now, whinnying as he galloped up the front steps. It was 6 furlongs to the drugstore, and Papa thought...
Yeah, look, that's all very fascinating, but I got work to do. We gotta go.
Well, I don't want to hold you kids up. Take a lesson, though, from Papa. He got a tip from a jockey friend, mortgaged Mama's sewing machine, and bet every dime we had on a horse named Glue Boy.
Glue Boy. Sounds like a sticky proposition.
Glue Boy put everything he had into that run, kids, and he was the first to cross the finish line in the last race of the day.
Good.
Papa lost everything.
Lost? You said the horse came in first in the last race.
Yep, but he started out in the first race. Never trust a horse, Johnny. He'll make a jackass out of you every time.
Well, I'm sure there must be a fine moral in there somewhere, Mr. Oldtimer, but these papers have nothing to do with racing forms. They're questionnaires.
Yep. I just been appointed census takers for this district.
Census taker, dearie.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Yep. It's just a subordinate job now, of course, but the next census they take, I may get appointed head.
Johnny, I got news for you. You got one now!
Look, if I were you, boy, I wouldn't get too flipped with a government official. I'm with the government, you know.
Oh, that's okay. I'm a government man myself. You see the safety pin in the back of my pants?
Why, heavenly days, what's that for?
Rent control, daughter. I tore 'em.
Yeah? How?
Coming downstairs, Johnny, I fell over a banister.
Oh, you mean a banister.
This was in the courthouse, daughter. A lawyer got in my way. Well, now come on, kids. I'll drive you downtown if you got your car out front.
Thanks, but we're walking.
Yep, we gotta go. Let's get going. We've been waiting long enough for people to come to their census. Now we're gonna take the census to the people.
That's pretty good, Johnny. That ain't the way I heard it.
Oh, pshaw.
The way I heard it, one fella says to other fella, when he heard McGee was taking the census, say, he says, why is the Wistful Vista census like a ride on a rocket ship? Simple, said the other fella, 'cause they both start off with a big jerk. So long, kids.
Don't touch that dial. We'll take a brief intermission. There's just enough time to refill your beverage, use the facilities, or donate to Carpenter Square Theater. Look for the donate button on the homepage at carpentersquare.com. To donate to RK1 Studios, use Venmo, and their handle is at RKONE. We'll see you on the radio in 3 minutes.
I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake, baked a cake, baked a cake. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. How'd you do? Had you dropped me a letter, I'd have hired
Fibber
a
McGee
band.
and Molly Show on CST Live Online.
All right, Mrs. Mulks. I guess I got all the information I need about you. Now for the rest of your family. Who else lives at this address?
Just myself and Boswell, that's all.
Let me put that down, sis. Bozwel.
Oh, and that's Mr. Mulks, is it?
Oh, gracious, no. Boswell is only 4 years old.
Boswell Mulks, age 4. Is your son, sis?
Well, no, he's adopted.
Oh, how nice. What nationality is he?
Well, his papers didn't say exactly, but from the shape of his tail and his long drooping ears, we think he's a beagle.
Beagle.
Yes. Oh, here he is now. Boswell, come meet the nice people.
Oh, for the love of... Come on, Molly. Thanks, sis.
Oh, my. This is very interesting work, isn't it, dearie? Now, how many names do we have now?
Well, let me check. Well, counting the 4 people that weren't home, and the lady that was taking a bath and hollered out the window at us, and the guy that was holding his thumb in the leaking water pipe and said, "Come back tomorrow," and the place with the measles sign on the door, I got just 1. Mrs. Mulks. Well, here we go again. Good morning, sir. I am the U.S. Census taker.
Census taker.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Oli.
Hello, McGee. Hello, Mrs. You're a what kind of ticker?
The United States Census, Ole. The government needs lots of information about population and housing.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I've been waiting for a census taker. I think McGee is a good man to ask questions. Everybody say so.
They do, Oli? What did they say?
They say, oh, McGee is a questionable character. Well, go ahead, Census taker. Ask all the questions.
Well, your name we have, and the address. Born?
Sure. Not lately, though. It was a long time ago.
Who's the head of this household?
Wait till I close the door. I am.
Where were you born, Ole?
Davenport.
Iowa?
No, Stockholm. Mama didn't have time to get to the hospital. I was born on the Davenport.
How many people live at this address?
Well, if you call it living, there's me and my missus and the kids, Christina, Lars, Sven, a little Oli, Yasmin, and better leave a spot for next January.
Now then, one more question.
Okay.
Oh, what time is it?
About half past.
Thanks. We better get going. Thanks, Oli.
Oh, that's all right, McGee. Nothing is too good for the government, they seem to think.
Isn't this fun, McGee? So who's next on the list?
I don't know, but I wish it was Edgar Bergen.
Why?
I'd like to ask him if he feels lonesome since McCarthy got to be a senator.
Oh,
Well, here we are, kiddo. Good morning, madam. I represent the government, and I'm here...
tell her to take the census.
Ma'am, I represent the government, and I'm here to...
We don't want any.
Oh.
She don't want any, Molly. Well, let's try next door. Wait a minute. I ain't selling anything. I'm the census taker.
It's census taker. Now try again.
I'll say I'll try again. Open up in there. I'm from the census. By George.
Oh, why didn't you say so? I didn't understand.
Neither did I. I'd like to talk to the head of the house. Are you married?
Yes, indeed I am. But you'll have to come back later. My husband is in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, the lucky man in the beautiful South. Well, what's he doing there, madam?
20 years. Good day.
Well, the government has solved his housing problem.
Well, if they convicted him of being a masher, they've also solved the surplus potato problem. Well, who lives in the next house, McGee?
Fella named Crabtree. I know him from the Elks Club, but I'm skipping him.
Oh, afraid he isn't home?
Afraid he is home. I owe him $10. Let's take this next one. Ooh, beautiful house. Must be millionaires.
Yes?
Good day, Madam or Bud. In your case, it's Bud. I am the U.S. Census Takus for this district.
Census taker, he means.
I regret to say, sir and madam, that the master, Mr. Wilkes Farthington, is unavailable for interruption at the moment. If you could return in about a fortnight...
Raise the anchor a little, Joe!
As I was about to say, sir, if you could return at a more convenient time.
Convenient for who? This is convenient for us, Bud.
Quite. However, I'm afraid...
Now one more star in the flag, Joe! Yeah!
Oh, what is going on in there?
Mr. Wilkes Farthington is being tattooed, madam. Good day.
Come back at a more convenient time, my clavicle. Getting paid by the name and make a dozen trips. Now that's the kind of stuff that gets under my skin.
Well, judging from the Yelps, they were getting under Mr. Wilkes Farthington's too. Well, here, try this place.
Good day, sir or madam. I am a representative.
Oh, yes,
of
of course. I've been expecting you all day, Mr. Wilcox, because my housework is so...
Oh, excuse me, madam. We're not Mr. Wilcox. I mean,
We're
here-
taking the United States Census, sis. And
Oh,
I'm
I
here-
wish I had time to talk to you, but this big house keeps me so busy. And this Mr. Wilcox promised to come and show me how he can simplify it.
Well, he is just the lad that can do it too, because when he shows you how Johnson's water repellent glow coat can save you so much time and work, you will simply be amazed.
You betcha. Now, sis, my first question is
Johnson's
about
water repellent glow coat?
Yes.
No, my question
You
is
see,
about...
madam, I am a housewife myself, and I know what glow coat can do. You know those dingy, milky-looking streaks on the linoleum after you mop it a few times? Well, that is a thing of the past because water repellent glow coat stays on and stays bright, even after repeated damp moppings.
Now, my second question
How does
is...
it go on?
Well, at the rate we're going, it'll go on all day.
She
But
means the glow coat, McGee. Well, Mrs.
Curry, Mary Curry.
Well, I finally got some information. What was the first name?
Johnson's water repellent glow coat.
No, I meant...
Now, quiet, dearie. Mrs. Curry and I are talking. You see, Mrs. Curry, glow coat is very easy to apply. You just pour a little out, spread it around, and let it dry. And in 20 minutes or less, it gives your linoleum a lovely, glossy, protective wax coating that will... Oh, wait a minute. Well, here comes Mr. Wilcox now. Well, he can tell you the rest of it. Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Hiya, Molly. Hi, pal. Hello, Mrs. Curry. Sorry I was late. The census taker was at my house.
Look,
and...
Junior, I'm taking the census myself.
Oh, this will only take a minute, pal. I just want to tell Mrs. Curry about
This
Johnson.
lady has already told me, Mr. Wilcox, it seems that 1 can of glow coat will cut my housework in half. So bring me 2 cans right away, because that will take care of all my housework. And now I have the rest of the day to talk to you nice people, so do come in and sit down. Good day, Mr. Wilcox.
Well, this is a fine howdy. I'm going downtown to look up the law on horse thieving. Somebody stole my plug. So long now.
Well, that was the best client I've had yet.
Yes, a very pleasant woman. And how old did she say she was?
Oh, I can't tell you, kiddo. The manual says we ain't supposed to diverge any information accumulated in the course of the day. You should have listened.
Well, it was nice to talk to one citizen that made sense for the census. Now, where do we go?
Right here. Hiya, Bud.
How do you do?
I'm the census taker, Bud, and this is my wife, Molly.
How do you do, I'm sure.
How are you, Mrs. Taker? Won't you come in?
Thanks, Bud. But it ain't Mrs. Taker, it's Mrs. McGee. I'm taking the census.
Really? That's peculiar. I had a letter from one of my cousins in Idaho, and she claims that she was taking the census.
Oh, you got cousins in Idaho. Boise?
No, they're all girlsies.
Here's a pencil, McGee. Now, you better get busy.
Now, you understand, Bud, that this is the regular annual 10-year census. Okay, bud. Now, how about a few questions?
Good. I love this. First question. Can you quote Napoleon's farewell to his men after the Battle of Waterloo in 3 words?
No, we're supposed to ask the questions.
I'm sorry, that's 6 words and you lose. The correct quotation is, "So long, fellas!" Now, my next question.
Hey.
No, please. Now, we ask the questions.
Yeah. Now then, bud, your name, please?
Baker.
Your occupation?
No, that's my name. Baker. Axelrod P. Baker.
Well, what is your occupation, Baker?
Butcher. My father, Chauncey Baker, was also a butcher. All of us Bakers are butchers, except for on my mother's side. She was a carpenter.
Oh, you mean that was her maiden name?
No, her maiden name was Binkstoffel, Emily Binkstoffel. That made her Emily Binkstoffel Baker Jr.
How do you spell that?
Junior. Now, do you want to ask some questions, Miss Taker?
McGee, Baker, not Miss Taker.
Not mistaker for whom, sir?
McGee.
Oh, I'd never mistake you for him, honey. You're much pretty and precise.
Oh, cut it out. Look, we ain't getting any place.
You should have thought of that before you went into government work, sir. I realize it is a very safe job, and it gives you a certain security.
But
however,
wait a minute, please, Mr. Butcher.
the lady is speaking to you, Mr. Butcher.
I'm not Butcher. I'm McGee. Your name is Butcher.
No, my name is Baker. You'll remember that I said my mother, who is a Binkstoffel, married my father.
Never mind that. It isn't important.
It is to me, madam.
Oh, for the love of Mike.
No, Chauncey. Mike was my uncle. It was for the love of Mike that a girl named Marjorie
Stop
Pink
it, please.
Look, Buster, just let me ask a couple more simple questions, will you? Please, if it ain't too much to ask.
Go right ahead, sir. Questions in regard to what?
Education.
Very well. How far did you go in school?
Well, after my 3rd year in 8th grade in Peoria, I decided
McGee, you're supposed to ask him.
Oh, yes. We'll skip the education. How much money did you make last year, Baker?
$2,500,000. But I had to burn it.
Burn it?
Yes, I forgot to put a beard on Lincoln. You see, I have a little engraving plant back in my butcher shop and
Come on, Molly, let's go. I'm marking this residence down as vacant. So long, bud. Well, we only got 2 more stops today, kiddo. Here's the first one.
Oh, nice house. Who lives here?
Well, let me see. According to my notes, a fellow named Harris. Philip Harris, band leader with a rich wife.
Well, ring the bell.
I did, but I couldn't hear it ring.
Oh, maybe it's out of order.
Maybe the door's unlocked. I'll peek in. We'd better come back when he's feeling better, Molly. He's taking some, medicine.
Well, one more house, dearie, and we can go home. How many people did we call on today?
Well, according to my list, we knocked on 62 doors, kiddo.
Good day's work.
Yep, 62 houses, and the people were at home in all but 48 of them.
Well, that leaves 14.
But not only that, 9 of the 14 answered my questions, 3 of them without even beefing. Not a bad day's work for my first day as a census takus.
It's census taker.
Right, census takus. When I get going tomorrow, oh, look, kiddo, look who's coming across the street. It's Doc Gamble. Oh boy, have I been waiting for this.
Ah, yes, that is the doctor, isn't it? I recognize the walk.
You said it. That guy's got a waddle like a pregnant moose. Look at him. He walks like a chapped duck. Hey, Fatso.
Hello there, Molly. Nice to see you.
Thank you, doctor.
Hello, warthead.
Hi.
What's the briefcase in the Lear for? You peddling Mississippi bubble stock? Or is that thing full of snake oil in case you run across any rusty snakes?
You'll find out, boy. Oh, is this going to be fun? Hand me the blank, Molly.
He's working, doctor, for the United States government.
Him? How do I get my citizenship canceled?
Well, you'll be happy to know, Doctor, that I have just been appointed census taker for this
No,
district.
it's censor takus. Oh, wait.
What?
No.
Oh, no.
Yep, you're looking at a duly qualified minor official. Prepare to have your census took.
Look, catch me later. I got calls to make. People sick. Maybe might be an operation. And
Look at him squirm, kiddo. Look at him. Maybe I ought to read you the law about answering questions, Doctor.
Oh, now look, McGee.
On page 98, section 9, it says, and I cheerfully quote, any person who shall willfully refuse to answer shall be deemed guilty of
All right, you double-crossing little snoop. Go on. Ask me.
Oh, now, Doctor, that is no way to act.
Well, why does he have to be the one?
I consider it my civic duty, Doctor, and it's not easy either. A job like this takes a lot out of a guy.
Yes, and you had so little to start with, too.
Oh, just relax, Doctor. You know that any information you give him is confidential.
Certainly it is. And besides, it'll make a swell chapter for the book I'm writing about you, Docky. It's called Inside Doc Gamble, or, boy, it's dark in here.
Get on with the questions.
All right, name, address. All right, now, how old are you, Doctor?
47.
Oh, you don't look 47.
No, and he ain't 47 anymore. He's 96 if he's a day. Come on, clean. Come clean, fatso.
Make it 48.
That's better. Next question. How much money did you make last year?
$12,000.
12,000, honestly?
Part of it, kiddo, part of it. Say about $3 of it, honestly. Hey, fatso?
Get on with the questions, nosy.
Okay, next question. Are those your own teeth, Doctor?
Certainly. I have the receipt for...
Boy, this is wonderful. Next question. Is it true that you were holding hands with a Miss Fifi Tremaine in the balcony of the Bijou Theater last night, and the usher had to come upstairs?
McGee?
Okay. Have you ever been married, Doctor?
No.
Are you thinking of getting married?
Yes. I'm secretly engaged.
Yeah? Whom to?
Miss Tremaine.
Heavenly days, Doctor. We didn't know that. Miss Tremaine, huh?
Boy, oh boy, is that something for the gang at the Elks. Well, it's sure nice of you to give me all this dope about your private life, Docky. And I got news for you. You ain't in my census district. There'll be a guy around to take your census next week.
What?
Thanks, pigeon.
You're welcome, Chisler. And I have news for you, too.
Well, what, Doctor?
I know I'm not in his district. That's why I gave him all the wrong answers. So long, sucker.
What? Why, that double-crosser. Taking advantage of my faith in him to deliberately lie to me.
Well, this has been quite a day, hasn't it? Very interesting work.
Sure has, Tootsie.
Well, now what do you do?
Well, first thing I do is check over my papers and look at the reference manual to see if I done everything right. Then I check with the crew and then turn in the day's records. Hand me the manual, Tootsie. I want to look up my legal responsibilities.
Well, here you are. Legal responsibilities are on page 18, sections 57 and 58.
Page 18. Let me see. Not to be accompanied or assisted by unauthorized persons. Not permit anyone to accompany you except duly authorized. Huh? Oh my gosh! Hand me the phone, quick! Then run up and pack our bags.
Well, here's the phone, but what on earth are
Can't
you...
talk now, kiddo. We're in a jam. Hello, operator. Give me the airport. Hello, airport. 2 reservations to South America on the first plane out. Huh? Midnight?
McGee, what are you getting so worked?
What say, sis? The names. Mr. Fosdick J. Allardyce and wife. What do you mean, how do I spell that? Make it Jones. Okay, we'll be there. Hey, Molly, get packed. Quick, shut off the gas and the water and the electric.
McGee, please, what are you talking about? What is this?
We're in trouble, baby. That's what this is. Look at this census manual. By letting you go with me and read this confidential stuff, I'm liable to $1,000 fine and 2 years in the pokey. Now get your hat and make some jelly sandwiches. I'll mail in my resignation when we get to Hong Kong. Ladies and gentlemen, the 1950 census is underway. When the census taker calls on you, ask to see his card. Invite him in and answer his questions accurately.
A true picture of the size and condition of our country depends on true answers from all of us. A true picture is of vital importance.
Remember that the information you give your census taker is completely confidential. By law, no other agency of the government can ever use it for taxation, investigation, or anything else.
And remember, too, you won't find a census taker like McGee anywhere but in Wistful Vista.
I guess that's right, kiddo. I guess I just got a natural curiosity, huh?
Yes, you are.
Or what?
A natural curiosity.
Oh, good night.
Good night, all.
The makers of Johnson's Water Repellent Glow Coat, Racine, Wisconsin, and Brantford, Canada, brought you Fibber, McGee, and Molly this evening. Thanks to Johnson's, your floor will shine, shine, and shine. Join us again next month for CST Live Online at 7 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, September 18th and 19th for more old-time radio. As you know, so many arts organizations have been hit hard by the pandemic, and Carpenter Square is no exception. If your budget allows, donations to Carpenter Square Theater can be made using the Donate button on the homepage at carpentersquare.com, and donations for RK1 Studios can be made via Venmo. Please use their handle at RKONE. Our company of players tonight included me, CW Bardsher, as Wilcox and Oli and on live sound effects, with Mike Waugh as Fibber, Lilli Bassett as Molly, supported by Terry Veal as Mr. Oldtimer and Cliff Baker the Butcher, Lana Henson as Mrs. Mokes and Mary Curry, Barry Thurman as the Butler and Doc, and tonight's show was directed by Rhonda Clark. We hope to see you on the radio next month on the third Friday and Saturday. That's September 18th and 19th. Thanks again to Randy and Matt Kemp and Emmy Award winner Rick Allen Lippert for their technical expertise. Good night.
Good night, everybody!
Come in. Well, 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 look who's here. I haven't seen you in many a year. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake, baked a cake, baked a cake. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do? Had you dropped me a letter, I'd have hired a band, grand band in the land. Had you dropped me a letter, I'd have hired a band and spread the welcome mat for you. Oh, I don't know where you came from, 'cause I don't know where you've been. But it really doesn't matter. Grab a chair and fill your platter and dig, dig, dig right in. If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake, hired a band. Goodness sake, if I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. How'd you do, how'd you do, how'd you do?